Welcome to VNT. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In 2025, America's international airports are eerily quiet. Where crowds once bustled, there are now empty spaces and silent terminals. The travel industry had expected a surge in overseas visitors, but instead, there's been an 8% drop, shocking everyone from hotel owners in Las Vegas to souvenir sellers in New England. At major airports like JFK and LAX, international check-in desks are understaffed and summer travel slots go unfilled. This isn't a random dip. It's the result of political rhetoric, new government policies, and tough economic conditions converging. The message to the world: America is becoming harder, pricier, and less welcoming to visit. The US now ranks near the bottom among developed nations for travel competitiveness, a dramatic fall from grace. For every empty seat on a plane, there's an empty hotel room and a missed meal in a local restaurant. The energy that millions of foreign visitors brought to American cities has faded, leaving a noticeable void. The world is voting with its feet, and fewer are choosing the US as their destination. This isn't just a temporary slump, it's a fundamental shift in global travel patterns. The empty airports are just the most visible sign of a much deeper problem. This is the story of how America's welcome mat was pulled away, and what it means for the nation's economy and global standing. A major reason for the tourism nosedive is a sweeping new travel ban, rolled out in June 2025, targeting 19 countries and threatening to expand further. The policy, justified by security concerns, blocks entry for many visa holders, including tourists and business travelers the U.S. economy relies on. In 2024, over 160,000 visas were issued to these countries, mostly for tourism and business. That tap is now shut off. The ban's ripple effect goes beyond the listed nations, creating uncertainty for travelers worldwide who fear sudden policy changes. Past bans led to a 70% drop in immigrant visas and an 85% decline in non-immigrant visas for affected countries. Tourism from the Middle East alone fell 25%. The current ban is broader and comes at a time when global travel sentiment is fragile. It sends a message of closure, while other countries compete for every tourist dollar. The human cost is immense. 4.3 million immigrants from banned countries in the US now struggle to reunite with family. Family visits, holidays, and cultural ties are disrupted, deepening isolation for vibrant communities. The ban severs not just travel, but also economic and cultural connections built over generations. The result: a colder, less welcoming America, and a tourism industry in crisis. The strong US dollar, once a sign of economic strength, is now a barrier for international tourists. For families from Europe, Asia, and South America, the dollar's rise means their money buys less, turning a US holiday into a luxury. Hotel rooms, meals, and attractions all cost more in local currency, pushing travelers to seek better value elsewhere. Destinations in Southeast Asia, Southern Europe, and Latin America are now more attractive for budget-conscious tourists. Many regions are still recovering from economic shocks, and long-haul travel is often the first expense cut. The US is increasingly seen as a premium destination, accessible mainly to the wealthy or business travelers. The classic American road trip, or family Disney vacation, is slipping out of reach for the global middle class. This affordability crisis threatens the diversity and vibrancy of US tourism. Without a broad range of international visitors, the industry loses both revenue and cultural richness. The strong dollar, combined with global economic uncertainty, is pushing the US down the list of must-visit destinations. The result: fewer tourists, emptier hotels, and a shrinking share of the global travel market. Airlines, facing empty seats, are slashing routes to US holiday hotspots like Orlando and Las Vegas. Flights that once ran daily are now cut back or suspended, creating ghost corridors where thriving airlinks once existed. As flights disappear, remaining seats get pricier, further discouraging tourists. Airlines are prioritizing business routes, connecting global financial centers, while leisure routes are sacrificed. Direct flights from secondary cities vanish, forcing travelers into longer, more complicated journeys. For many, the extra hassle is enough to choose a different destination. The loss of direct, convenient flights is a major blow to US tourism. As airlines pivot, the holidaymaker is left behind, and American cities lose vital visitor traffic. The drop in international tourism is hitting American businesses and workers hard. In 2024, Canadian visitors alone spent over $20 billion and supported 140,000 jobs. Now much of that is at risk. Hotels are seeing empty rooms, leading to layoffs and reduced hours. Sectors relying on immigrant labor, already facing shortages, are squeezed further by travel bans. The loss of spending from banned countries creates a vacuum the domestic workforce can't fill. Cities like Orlando feel the pain. Fewer theme park tickets sold, emptier restaurants, and struggling shops. Every lost tourist means lost income for taxi drivers, hotel staff, and small business owners. Immigrant communities affected by the ban contributed over $175 billion in earnings and $45 billion in taxes in 2023. Restricting new visitors and workers undermines the economic engine that powers the service sector. The tourism nosedive isn't just numbers, it's livelihoods, businesses, and communities at risk. America's service economy is feeling the strain, with no easy fix in sight. The sharpest sign of America's tourism crisis is the collapse in Canadian visitors. Air travel from Canada is down as much as 43%, and cross-border road trips have dropped by a third. The strong US dollar makes trips south expensive for Canadians, while political tensions add to the reluctance. Once, Canadians were a cornerstone of US tourism, spending billions and supporting jobs in border states and Sunbelt destinations. Now, that spending is vanishing, leaving small towns and cities in economic trouble. The loss of Canadian snowbirds and vacationers is a blow to local budgets and businesses. Interestingly, business travel from Canada is holding steady, even rising slightly. Canadians are still coming for work, but not for fun. Airlines are cutting leisure routes but maintaining business connections between major cities. The message is clear. For Canadians, America is now a place for business, not pleasure. The US is losing its appeal as a holiday destination, even with its closest neighbor. With leisure travel collapsing, airlines are shifting focus to the resilient business travel sector. The US still captures 15% of global business travel bookings, so airlines are doubling down on corporate clients. Schedules now favor early morning and late evening flights for business travelers, while routes to tourist spots are cut. Airlines offer flexible fares, loyalty perks, and seamless experiences for corporate customers. Meanwhile, leisure travelers face higher prices and fewer options. This shift risks creating a two-tiered travel system, one for business elites, another, much smaller, for everyone else. Cities reliant on tourism but lacking strong business travel are left isolated. The industry stays profitable, but at the cost of diversity and volume that leisure tourism brings. The long-term risk a US travel industry that's less accessible, less vibrant, and disconnected from the global holiday community. America's skies are open for business, but the welcome mat for holidaymakers is fading fast.